What if you can suddenly wake up tomorrow without a kinked neck or that nagging upper or lower back pain? Stick around because we've helped thousands of busy parents not just eliminate pain, but also get stronger as they get older while building better habits. And if you're interested in this type of content, click the subscribe button and also click the bell icon so you never miss out on any of this great content. We host videos once a week, Mondays at 5 p.m. Now I'm gonna share with you guys 5 exercises that you can do before you go to sleep. And that way your body is looser, it's feeling more relaxed, and that way the next day you'll wake up with less neck and back pain. But before I dive into that, I wanna just give you a quick disclaimer, is that I'm not any different from any of you guys. I'm a busy parent. I also run 2 businesses. And so for me, my life is always moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. My time is not my own anymore. And so we don't want to use one time as an excuse to not get in more movement through the day. I feel like I'm not any different from any other parent out there. The only difference is that I prioritize my time towards fitting in more movement through the day. So let's dive into these 5 exercises now, and hopefully it can make some beautiful and dramatic changes to your life. So this entire nighttime mobility routine will be something that you can do in real time. So click on this video right before you go to sleep, and you can open this up on a daily basis. And I'm gonna share with you guys with a foam roll. So I'll link that in the description if you do not have a foam roll just yet. So there's gonna be 5 exercises, and I'm gonna walk you through it right now. So with the foam roll, you're gonna simply start it on the floor, and you're going to start it at about your mid-back here. With your mid-back, wanna make sure that you maintain a chin tuck. Make sure that your neck usually doesn't fall into this cervical extended position. A lot of people tend to feel strained with that. Then the very first exercise, I just called head supported rolling. So with making a hammock with your hands, you're gonna rest your head and chin tuck into your hands, lift your butt about just an inch off the floor, and you're going to roll back and forth. Now there's 2 things that I want you to do here. The very first is to kind of open up your posture by spreading your elbows and trying to get your elbows to touch the floor. That's gonna be helping to massage your shoulder blades a bit. And a lot of times you'll get that nagging kind of aches usually in the lat section or the shoulder blades. So it's great for that. Then 15 seconds into it, you wanna pull your elbow in front of your nose. That gets your shoulder blades out of the way. And that way you can emphasize feeling that foam roll right along the spine. And again, you're gonna do this for about 30 seconds. Now, once you finish that up, you're gonna find and hunt for different spots. The next exercise is called thoracic extension. You're gonna drop your butt down, find a spot that feels tight. Make sure, again, your neck never goes into the cervical extended position. You wanna maintain a chin tuck and almost thinking about pushing the back of your head into your hands. Once you do that, pull your elbows in front of your nose, and you're gonna exhale and bend and point your elbows backwards. So you're arching your back over the roll, doing this one for about 5 to 6 repetitions in that specific spot until it loosens up. Once you do that, find a different spot, either lower or even higher alongside your neck or your mid-back. And so I'm gonna hunt for a spot just around the mid-back and do the same thing. So chin tuck, keep your abs a little bit tight as well, so tighten up the abs, and then bend backwards. Notice the exhale as you go backwards, and you'll get a lot more emphasis and a deeper stretch as you exhale. Okay, so usually about 15 repetitions in, now we're gonna be working on flexion. Flexion is when we round the back. And so people oftentimes get a very relaxing sensation, sometimes when they crack their back or they cavitate. So what I'm gonna have you do is you're going to start the roll at about right here, about rib level. Then you're going to pull your elbows in front of your nose, give yourself a little bit of a pelvic tilt. So notice I flatten my lower back and I tighten up my abdominals. Once you do that, you're going to pull up on your head and then straighten your knees at the same time. So watch how this is done and rewind this part if you need to, okay? Form is very important here. So elbows, tighten up your abs, and then exhale, bend, and straighten. So notice again that I flex my spine, but also straighten my knees at the same time. That way we're getting the roll to go from the base of our neck all the way down into our mid-back. And so we're gonna do this one for at least 6 to 8 reps here. Okay, and that is what we call foam roll thoracic flexion. Okay, so we went through essentially 3 exercises already. One is just head supported rolling. Then we went into extension of our upper back, and then we went into flexion. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something called foam roll thoracic spine with repeated pelvic tilts. So this is a really good exercise because as you kind of roll your pelvis into that posterior pelvic tilt position, you're actually pulling out a lot of that slack from the lumbar as well as the thoracic paraspinals. Think of like this continuous muscle going from your neck all the way down into your pelvis. So when we do the pelvic tilt, you'll feel a deep stretch right where the foam roll is, and you have to actually do the exercise in order to feel it. Otherwise, you can't really see it through camera. Okay, so I'm going to now reset myself. Put the foam roll right by the mid-back. Okay. And so same thing here, we're gonna take out slack in a lot of different areas. We're gonna pull our elbows in front of our nose. We're gonna chin tuck into our hands. And then we're also going to find a spot that feels kind of tight. So maybe right there. Now, I'm going to extend first. I wanna bend backwards over the roll, but I also wanna make sure that I keep my abs tight. If I don't keep my abs tight, this is how I look. So I just kind of lackadaisically just kind of bend backwards. I wanna bend backwards, but also keep my abs tight, as in my abs are trying to resist me from going backwards further. So as I get into that extended position, now I'm gonna emphasize the pelvic tilt with an exhale. Okay, then you go to an anterior pelvic tilt and repeat. This one's done here for about 8 to 12 reps. And repeat. Find a different spot, extend again, same thing here, exhale. Notice that the roll actually kind of moves every time I tilt. So as I tilt, the roll kind of moves down my spine. And if you are doing this with me, you'll kind of feel like a nice stretch right where the foam roll is. And that's usually pretty relieving for the mid-back. So I feel like I kind of lost count here. But again, what I said is about 8 to 12 reps here with that strong exhale. Okay, so that is 4 exercises right there. The last and final exercise I'm gonna do, we're gonna switch the foam roll to directly in front of us. And once you have that, I'm gonna share with you guys how you're gonna do this. So we're gonna do something called Sideline thoracic clock. So why it's called a clock is because this left hand is going to be a clock movement. We're gonna go from 3 o'clock, kind of reaching towards you guys, then 12 o'clock, then we're gonna emphasize 9, and then we're gonna come back from 9, 12, then 3, okay? So I'm gonna lie on my side now, and I'm gonna put my leg onto the roll. I wanna have my foot, my shin, as well as my knee onto the foam roll. And I want my knee above my belly button. That's very important because when you do that, that's gonna lock out some of the movement of your hips as well as your low back. We want all that movement coming from our shoulders as well as our upper back. Okay, so hand that's lower to the ground, I'm going to firmly press against my knee and pin it down onto the foam roll. Now with the left hand, I'm going to reach towards you guys, so reach to about 3 o'clock, and I'm going to rotate, keep my eyes on my hand, go from 12 o'clock, then I'm going to go to 9 o'clock, and I'm going to reach. Once I get to 9, I'm going to go back to 12, and then back to 3 o'clock, okay? So we're going to reach forward, I'm going to go to 12 o'clock, then 9 o'clock, and you're going to get a nice stretch throughout that entire movement, stretching at your lats, stretching at your upper back, and twisting it. And this is one of my favorite exercises to kind of end the day, and also, again, to wake up with less neck and back pain. Okay, the goal here is like with your thumb, so thumbs up is good, is to try to trace your thumb. So keep your thumb on the floor at 3 o'clock, follow your thumb, go to 12 o'clock, then you're gonna flip your palm over, so make sure your knuckles are facing the floor as you go to that 9 o'clock position, and then we're going to repeat. Okay, and for time purposes, you're gonna do this one for about 8 to 12 repetitions, and then you're gonna repeat that on the other side. So again, all you need is a foam roll, and these are just 5 exercises that you can do. And if you promise you, if you guys actually do this before you go to sleep, you do this on the floor, and then the very last thing that you do is simply just put your head down on the pillow, you can expect to kind of wake up with much less neck and back pain. Hopefully you found that helpful. And if you are a busy mom or dad who struggles with pain or feel like you're getting weaker with age, or maybe you just want to work on building healthier habits. We have served thousands of clients worldwide and helped them to not just get back to a pain-free life, but also live a life where they are prioritizing their health and making sure that they're bulletproofing their body for the long run. If you're interested in coaching, feel free to look at the website up above where you can fill out an application and apply and book in for a free 1-hour consultation with us. We promise you that on that call, we will figure out exactly what your needs are and see if we are a good fit to help you. And if you have any questions, you can also text the number up above, text the word PT, and that way we'll know that you're interested in physical therapy and coaching. Thanks for watching this video. And if you ever had pain sitting or standing from a couch, and that's specifically low back and hip pain, click the link here. I share with you guys my favorite exercises that I do so that way I can enjoy that TV time pain-free. See you there.